Hello friends, welcome back. So we are seeing methods or functions, right? We have seen that functions are a sequence of statements, or you can say the collection of statements which are meant for to do some specific task. Why we need functions? Why we need functions? The reason is that we are going to divide the problem into a smaller sub-problems, and the sub-problems are known as tasks. Each task is one function, and the task is going to perform its own task, and we take the help of different tasks to solve one big problem. Functions are reusable. You can reuse them wherever you want, and we have seen three types of functions, like a function without parameters and without return type, or you can say without return type, without parameters, right? And the second type is without return type with parameters, and the third type is with return type as well as with parameters. Now let me move further and explain a little bit more. Let's take an example of the start function. Okay, I have a start function. Here I create one variable, two variables in a, or let's say in x comma y. Two variables I have created, x and y, and I assign x equals to 10 and y equals to 20. Then what I want is I want to get the sum of the numbers and get back. What I do, I create one function which is going to return an integer, because the sum of these two is an integer, right? Then I say add. The function name is add. Then it takes two parameters, int, let's take px, that indicates parameter x, comma int py, that indicates parameter y. And what I do here is I'm going to say return px plus py. Now you can see that this function is going to take two integer values, add those two and return back. Now let us take, I create one variable here called as sum, and I call the add function, and I pass the value x. As you can see, it is asking for px and py, two values, right? Both are integers it is asking, so I am passing them. Okay, after that I can say debug.log, right, string dot format, right? To that I am going to say in double quotation I am going to pass sum of a, sum of, let's take 0 and 1 equals to 2 double quotation comma x comma y comma sum, sum, sum. Let us save this one and try to understand. You can see that I created one function which does, its task is, if I pass two values, it just need to add and give me the result back. Let us save and check how the code is working first, then we run and check the code. We come back to Unity. I just clear the previous code, whatever I had. I run the code. Please try to understand how it is working. The stack is having start function, and we are in the start function. You can see that it has checked how many variables are there, x, y and sum. All these three variables are created now in the stack, right guys? So here we have a stack, and the start function is on top of the stack. It has three memory locations, one for x, one for y and one for sum. Each are filled with value 0, 0, 0. That is good. Now after that we are going to execute this. X is going to become 10, right? X is 10, good. Then after that we execute this. Y is going to become 20. You can see that on the stack also. So we have a 20 and sum is at present 0. Okay, I hope you guys are understanding. This is sum. Okay, this is start function. After that it is going to call, you can see sum we have equal to sign, so right hand side part should get executed first. It is going to call the add function. It jumps from here to here. So when we call add function, you should understand this clearly. What happens is add function, for the add function, it is going to create the memory location, right? Add function. And you can see it has two variables, px and py. So it creates two memory locations, one for px and one for py on top of the stack. And you can see that x value is assigned to px. Px is now 10 and y value is assigned to py. And you can see here, if you mouse over, you can see it is telling unknown identifier at present because we are not in the start function. That's okay. Px is going to be assigned by 10, py is assigned by 20. That is clear, right? Then it is going to return back px plus py. So 10 plus 20, 30. 30 will be returned back. This place is going to be replaced by the value 30. Remember that. So, and once it comes back, the add function is going to be removed from the stack. You will not be having the px and py available. Okay, it has come back and it has already assigned the value sum. Okay, that is 30. Sum has become 30. So what happens here? I hope you guys have understood clearly that these memory locations are going to be removed from the stack. And the sum is going to be now 30. Good. After that, we are going to call debug.log. First, debug.log, what it does, it will call the inner function first. The string class has a function called format. We are calling the format function from the string class. And it displays sum of, right? It displays sum of. This is a placeholder for the first value after the comma, that is x. So 10 will be placed here. Then IND. Then this place, the placeholder for y, that is 20 will be placed here, equal to, this is a placeholder for the second element after the comma, that is 30. 30 will be placed here, right? That debug.log will give us, okay, the resultant output will be sum of 10 IND. Sum of 10 IND. You can see sum of 10 IND 20 equal to 30. The debug.log will display the string on top of the console window. Okay, we continue the code and you can see that you got the result. Sum of 10 and 20 is 30. I hope you guys are clearly understanding how the functions are useful. Now what I want here is, I just copy this code from here, I come back, and anyhow this stack is not necessary for us, I have explained. This is our code. Let us understand few terminologies. The function start is calling the add function. We are calling. Remember that. Okay. This is known as calling. C-A-L-L-I-N-G. Calling a function add. Now this function is calling the add function, which is actually called by. This is called. Now add is a called function by the caller called start function. C-A-L-L-E-R. Now you should say something like this. The start is a caller function which is calling the add function. Add, you can say like add is called by the start function, like that. I hope you guys understood. Next, the values that you are passing when you are calling a function, they are known as formal parameters. Formal parameters. Whereas the variables that you created here in the beginning of, or in the definition of the function px and py, they are actually called as actual parameter. Excuse me. These are formal parameters. F-O-R-M-A-L. Formal parameters. Okay, these are known as formal parameters, whereas these are actual parameters. Actual parameters. Because the x and y are actual values which are moving to the add function. These are formal parameters because they are taking the values, they will add and return back the result, and these will not be available once the add function is removed from the stack, correct or not? Now what I wanted to explain in this one is, what is a caller, what is a called function, what are actual parameters, what are formal parameters. Remember that, actual parameters and the formal parameters. Now that is about actual parameters, formal parameters, and how do you create a function to get the sum of numbers. Let us take, you want to do the sum of some other numbers, then you can even say like debug.log, you can say add 40, 50, right? Now it returns back an integer value here, right? It will call the add function 40, 50, 90. 90 will be returned in this place. Debug.log will display 90 on the screen. Let us save and check how do we execute the code. Okay, if I run the code, you should see two outputs. One is sum of 10 and 20 is 30, and another one is 90, right? Sum of 10 and 20 is equal to 30 is coming from this debug.log, and 90 is coming from this debug.log. So we have understood how do we create functions, how do we use them, how do we access and use them. Now let's move on. When you are passing parameters, when you are passing values to the functions, there are three different types of passing parameters. There are three different types. The first one is pass by value, and the second one is pass by reference, and the third one is pass by out, or even we say pass by result. Okay. There are three different types of passing parameters to a function in C#. Whereas if you go to Java and C++, there are only two types, pass by value and pass by reference. You will find even we have pass by out in C#. Okay. Let us learn what is the meaning of pass by value, pass by reference, and pass by out, how they are useful. Okay, the first example we are going to see is pass by value. What I want here is, let us take, I have two variables, int x is equals to 10, and another variable is int y, which is equals to 10. Not 10, let's take 20. I hope you remember, we have learned how to swap two numbers, right? How do we used to do? We used to create one temporary variable temp and assign the value of x to it, then x is equal to y and y is equal to temp. This is the way how we swap. Let us take, I want to make one function which is going to swap these numbers. What I do is, I create one function which is not going to return anything back, just void, and the function name is swap. It takes two values, let's take px and another integer value py, which we are going to use. Now here you can see I create one integer called as temp variable, and I assign a value of a px to it. Then I say px is equals to py and py is equals to temp. You can see that I just created this code over here, which are going to be used to swapping purpose. I just save it, and now what we are going to do is, I just want to display debug.log display string.format in double quotation before swapping. Let us see the value of x is equal to 0 and value of y is equals to 1 in double quotation, then comma x comma y, which displays me the before swapping what are the x and y values, then after swapping I'm going to call the swap function and I pass the x comma y, which are going to be copied here and swapped over here. Then I am going to display after swapping what we get after FTAR. After swapping I just want to see the x and y values. Let us save and run and check. Before swapping it should be x 10, y 20. After that x should be 20, y should be 10. Let us see what happens if I run actually. Then we will understand whether it is swapping or not swapping. Okay, let us save and come back and clear the code. And if I run the code, you can see that it is displaying before swapping x equal to 10, y equal to 20. After swapping x equal to 10, y equal to 20. That means it has not swapped, guys. Even though we have written a code here for swapping, it has not swapped. The reason, what is the reason behind that? This is known as pass by value. The technique that we are seeing, or a type we are seeing, is pass by value. Let us understand why it is not swapping. What is the reason behind that? What is the meaning of pass by value? Let me explain in the stack over here so that you will understand clearly. Now we have a stack. When the control comes to the start function, the start will be moved on top of the stack, right? The start function is moved on top of the stack. Then it creates two memory locations, one for x, one for y. So one for x and one for y. Okay. Now x is assigned by value 10, y is assigned by value 20. You can see that. After that it is going to display debug.log, that is whatever the value of x and y is currently. So x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 20 will be displayed on the screen, right? X value is 10, y value is 20 at present when we are in this place. Okay, when the control comes to this place, it just displays the x and y values. After that we are going to call the swap function, swap x y. When swap function is going to be get called, the swap function is going to be moved on top of the stack and it is going to allocate three different memory locations now. One for px, remember that, one for px and one for py and another for temp. One for px, another for py, another for temp. When we call the swap function, the x value will be stored in the px, so x is going to be 10 and y is stored in the py, that is going to be 20, that is good. After that it is going to execute these statements, right? When it comes to this place, it will start executing the statements inside. What we are doing here, you can see. Whatever the value in the px will be given to the temp. So temp is going to have 10 now. Then after that px equal to py, px is going to become 20. 20 will be stored in px. Then py equal to temp. Now what happens is, this py is going to be assigned by the value of temp, so py is going to become 10. Good. Now you can see these formal variables which are available in this function, they are swapped, but the actual parameters that we have passed, x and y, they are not swapped. After executing all these statements, the control will come back over here. And we know that when the control will come back to this place, it is going to remove the memory locations allocated for the swap function. You can see x and y are still as it is, 10 and 20 only. So when you come back, debug.log, you are displaying after swapping x equal to whatever the value of x and whatever the value of y at present in this function. So we are going to get after swapping also x equal to 10 only, y equals to 20 only. This one is before, this one is after. Now let us understand what is pass by value. Pass by value means When you call a function by pass by value, the values will be copied to the formal parameters. The actual parameters values will be copied to the formal parameters. Any modification you make to the formal parameters over here, that will not affect to the actual parameters. Only that will affect to the formal parameters here. So by pass by value, any modification you make over here, they will not be affected to the actual parameters. Here the values will be copied to the formal parameters. Value of x will be copied here, value of y will be copied here. That's it. These are the new memory locations, right? Px and py. Only the px and py are swapping. We are swapping here. We are not swapping the actual parameters. So you need to note that in pass by value, value of actual parameters are copied to formal parameters. Okay, that you should remember. Value will be copied to the formal parameters. Their value will be passed here. Not actual variables will not be passed. Values will be passed. And any modification you make to the formal parameters will not affect to the actual parameters. Okay, that is about pass by value. Now what I want is, actually I want to swap these two. So how do I do that? Is there a way? Okay, we will see that. So before seeing the way, I just want to trace and show you how it is working. Okay, whether we have understood correctly or not. Now let us run and check. Now let us see the stack and locals. And you can see that start is a function which is on top of the stack now, right? And these are the two local variables x and y created here. Now if I execute this, x will be 10. If I execute this, y will be 20. And if I execute this, it will display the value of x, that is 10, value of y is 20. So it displays before swapping x equal to 10, y equal to 20. After that we call swap x and y. Now when I call, it jumps to this place, but you can see that it has created 3 memory locations, and on top of the stack is swap. This is on top of the stack, swap function. And px is having 10 because x is copied, the value of x is 10 copied to px, value of y is copied to py, so 20, and temp is at present 0. Now actually we are going to swap these px and py in the swap function. We are not swapping these x and y. Only these formal parameters are going to be swapped. And you can see that temp is now 10, px is moved to temp. Now px, py, so py is going to be moved to px. You can see px is now 20. And we move temp to py, so it is going to become 10. Now we can see px and py are swapped. The formal parameters are swapped. When I come back, the x and y will be, x will be 10, y will be 20 as it is. Let us see, if I come back, you can see that the swap is removed from the stack. They are not available anymore. We are having the x is 10 and y is 20, which are actual parameters or local to the start function. If I execute now, it will display after swapping x is equal to whatever the value of x, that is 10, and y equal to whatever the value of y, that is 20. So here there is no swapping occurred. That is how the pass by value works. I hope you guys have understood. Before swapping x equal to 10, y equal to 20. After swapping x equal to 10, y equal to 20. I think for this class this much is enough. In the next class we will see how do we actually swap our actual parameter values. Is there any way? So thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.